Let's move on to our next speaker. He will tell us, he'll give us a global perspective on the future of retail and what will be the future of retail. JP? Jean-Paul?
Hug from St. Petersburg.
Yeah, of course, I would love to be there in person and meet you all again. But let's do that in person in this great event next year.
Don't worry, I will come. I remember your invitation, and we never refuse. Please go ahead.
So, do we have anything to share, slides-wise?
Yes, they will upload them in a second. Let me check.
No problem.
Да.
Here it goes.
So let's start by taking a walk down memory lane. The industry has advanced in expanding the offer of itinerary solutions to travelers. In the 60s, the airlines were offering two classes of service. We had coach and we had first. And past the millennium, we saw most airlines starting to do 3 or 4 classes with economy, with premium economy, with business and first. But over the past couple of years, we've seen suppliers offering multiple brands within one class of service. So for economy, a non-bag fare, a bag included fare, a flexible fare, or a comfort fare with extra legroom. And this has pivoted the consumers to supplier.com for a more informed travel choice. The airline's direct e-commerce capability via web or mobile remains the airline's sort of main marketing strategy. The primary business case for that channel shift isn't just distribution costs, but the airlines increasingly view this as their core competence, the ability to retail, including upsell and cross-sell, cross-selling their own product. So what we want to show you today is how you can develop your best practice air retailing via a storefront, a website, incorporating multi-source content, showing what can be done today and what can be done next year. As we start our retailing journey, let's start with a familiar screen for all online travel agents, the initial search request. Currently, APIs return one brand and one upsell brand. But looking at the red circle at the right, as more carriers introduce more flexible options at a second brand level, having these options displayed in the search response can provide more assurance to the traveler. They know they can change. They know what's included. They know what services that make them feel safe when they travel. Now to the red circle at center, the brand attributes and COVID safety measures that you can now display on your screens today here on each air listing are available through Travelport to help a more informed travel choice. For the brands, there's about 300 airlines that have been normalized. And for the COVID measures, there's around 120 of the main airlines where all the COVID safety measures are surveyed on a daily and weekly basis. Brand fares data enables a draws display that addresses the industry's ambition for that sort of next generation storefront. But this is just the first step in Travelport's ambition when it comes to fulfilling your retailing goals and ambitions, the full potential of what you can do as you move into a multi-source content. For customers who choose a cheaper brand in the shopping cart, this provides a sort of the perfect opportunity for upsell. This is now becoming a common practice for increased air margins, and should the traveller still decide to remain with their existing brand, adding an ancillary service like a bag or a seat is becoming sort of the practice across the industry. You can add an ancillary offering that wasn't included in the brand, and that is now made easier with much more structured baggage data from our suppliers and normalized through the GDSs. And include free or paid seat maps. And in the current climate, choosing a seat is becoming quite important for the traveller, so that they can have that assurance of where they're sitting on the flight. So this isn't just for the traveller to give them insurance and information, it's also a way for you to increase your ancillary revenue. That's what we can do today. Now we're going to look at what can be done over the next 12 months. We've taken the opportunity during this period to talk to a lot of the suppliers that are on the call today, some of the major airlines, to understand their retailing ambitions, to understand their strategies, to understand what they will be displaying through NDC. I'm sure all of you on the call have been on multiple NDC related themes and related conferences. What we want to do here is basically, what does it exactly deliver, and what would it look like what could it look like on your site? With the investment in retailing and merchandising technology, API and NDC distribution has the potential to greatly increase the number of fares you'll see on your screen. In this case, we have 21 fares for one fictional flight. We're continuously working on methodologies to integrate and normalize the way multi-source content is returned, as to which content should be displayed to which traveller. So here we see a mix of results coming from ATPCO and coming from the NDC API content. And of course, ultimately, we won't display 21 offers for every flight, nor will there be any commercial value for you as agents to display that offer to the customer. So our product strategy is to enable agents to have as much control on this logic as possible, including which offers to remove because of duplication, which offers have the same price but can have more commercial value for the agent, or which offers have the same price but have more optional services included in the offering and therefore should be the best offering. So giving you the control of that logic. Next, please. So the aim of an online agency is to become that sort of effective retailer. Travelport's aim is to help you achieve with merchandising controls to show the right offer to the right customer. So let's look at some use cases. In our first use case, we'll look at a multi-content source search request without any additional passenger details. It's basically what you see on a screen today. The results show now how that logic has mixed and matched ATPCO content. The results show the top brand attributes for both combinations of NDC and ATPCO, and the NDC are highlighted in the pink areas of this screen. So mix and match content of that multi-source environment. Now let's take it one step further. In use case 2, we're looking at attribute-led search, where a traveller can personalize what they want return, what their offer should be. In this case, it's a carry-on bag, it's a check bag, and it's extra legroom. And as you see in the result sets, that enables agents, whether you decide to do that pre-search or as a structured post-filtering activity, post-search filtering activity, it allows you to create a new shelf, which in this case we call best match. So a match that meets the attribute-led requirements of that traveler. So it includes the extra legroom, it includes a bag, but you're still able to offer the other shelves for the cheapest flight and an upsell where they can indulge on a higher level of service. In this use case, this is where NDC and our implemented airlines have the opportunity to return basically tailored offers to an agent or an agency grouping. And that sort of really takes away the traditional way of working with airline or agent private fares. Is making it richer, taking it to a completely new level of more dynamic, tailored content. This gives agents the opportunity to promote agent private fares in a completely different way, strengthening their brand relationship. So there's a fare offer, but there's also an agent offer for an agent packaged offer for the upsell. In this case, fully refundable, with a seat allocation, with a price above and beyond the standard fare. OTAs have traditionally found it challenging to collect more passenger details, and especially around a frequent flyer card. In our discussions with airlines, we know that there are plans in their NDC capabilities to return tier-level frequent flyer offers. But this will, of course, demand that you can entice your customer by adding your loyalty card and see what special services your favorite airlines have for you today to return that data. And as you see in this case, the tier level customer, as a premium silver member of United Airlines, we have the pleasure of offering you extra comfort and service. Check out special offers for you. So not just the fare, but also those upsell opportunities for that premium level. Next, please. So in this case, we're really taking it one step further. So now we're introducing our dear traveler, Jeff Barry. Jeff has seen the value of adding his frequent flyer cards and has done that for both Delta and United in this case. And hi, Jeff, United have got some exciting offers for you. So this is where we move into the true space of personalization for an individual traveler. With these tailored offers being returned through the NDC content. And we won't just be seeing the fares, also Jeff's tailored upsell offers. So in this case, United is offering him fast track and a lounge for $40 and even adding extra legroom for $55, a tailored offer to Jeff because he's added his details. So and this is true tailoring. This is true personalization. And of course, with multiple cards, you can see multiple offers. So this would be Delta's offering back to Jeff. And even when traveling with a spouse or a colleague, Jeff would get his offers. And Elisa, because she doesn't have the same tier status, would get a similar offer, but there again at a slightly higher price than Jeff would have to pay. So even mixing and matching personas within that result set. both in leisure and in the TMC space, is where we'll be seeing these NDC offers. And of course, even in the seat maps tailored to those individual requests and preferences that Jeff has had from previous trips with that airline, and that Lisa, of course, sitting beside Jeff on that trip. The rich data that we return now from Travelport includes the COVID safety measures. This means that our travelers can inform travelers of their options throughout the workflow, enabling travelers to get the full insight of the value included for every comparable fare, with the safety measures included, giving the unbiased truth as to airline comparisons across multiple suppliers. So the future of retailing is work with your design team to start building out your retailing displays. The starting point are simple upsell capabilities in your shopping response or price card, but ensure that that design is suited for that future brand offerings. And work with your commercial and development team on defining your content preferences. So how is your rule engine going to work? When you have those 21 offers, how are you going to prioritize what is important for you from your price and margins? And this is work you can start on now as more and more airlines, more and more NDC content comes in to complement your GDS delivery. So there are some other NDC commercial strategies. One is around, next please. We'll see NDC introducing dynamic discounts and promotions. We'll see them under route promotions. These will be some of the discounts and services coming through NDC. But the complexity will increase as airlines introduce what we call dynamic pricing. Now, dynamic pricing enables airlines to move from their traditional pricing via buckets. You had an availability bucket priced at $140, and then you'd move up to your 170, and then you'd move up to your 200. Dynamic pricing enables an airline to have a small increase or a small decrease in that price option. So, for example, having your $170 fare, marking it down to $169, marking it up to $172, instead of taking that next step or next leap up to that $200 bucket, giving the airlines a lot more flexibility, but also challenging the OTAs when it comes to price predictability and pricing logic as they promote the suppliers' fares in the market. So this is the real retailing opportunity. I don't think this was mine. That was the last slide. So, that was the last slide. So I hope that was informative. Happy to take any questions about this.
Yeah.
It's a really exciting world we're moving into.
I'm not sure in which language I have to ask you. Let me try in Russian. Очень интересно. Мне бы хотелось более глобальный вопрос задать. Повлияла ли пандемия на вашу скорость развития и подключения NDC авиакомпаний и внедрения?
Your development speed, do you also increase the number of airlines connected to your service, or are you actually acting in line with your original plan as you used to develop and you keep developing in the
That's supposed
future?
to be translated for me because I don't have the translation.
Okay, I will translate, no problem.
Yeah, thanks, Boris.
Does the pandemic affected your plans on development of integration the NDC, ITP core, and making this product that you showed us, or everything is by plan and you sit aside and make your development without any?
Well, nothing. I think I speak for everyone in the room that nothing has gone in plan and planned due to the COVID. it's given us an opportunity to reflect. It's given us an opportunity to talk to many suppliers. It's giving us the understanding of where we need to get to and fast. Our development has continued, but of course in the NDC world, we are also dependent on the resources of the airline suppliers.
And how the airlines acted?
Some airlines...
they will abandon it or will postpone it for later.
Some have done that, yes. Some are prioritizing what we call bums on seats, basically getting as many passengers as possible. Without focusing on yield, embracing the indirect channel, whereas other airlines have been very focused on the value that NDC will bring and have continued their programs. It does vary from airline to airline and airline group to airline group.
Okay. Do you believe Travelport will add information to the seats map about COVID and about tested? About the requirement of the country for tests, etc., for maybe a health policy?
Yes, so we're working with a company called SafeCure, where we today through our offline solutions provide that sort of where you can travel, where you can't travel, restrictions and bans. And as I showed on the sites, this is available today, that you can download and have access to our COVID safety measures, which you can attach on an airline level. So you'll understand what experience you'll have as a traveler as you proceed with that airline, what experience you'll have in the airport, what experience you have on the plane, based on those icons. Cleaning, face masks, temperature checks, health checks, HEPA filters. Because, I mean, the traveler today, they want assurance. A year ago, nobody thought about what the airline experience was. They were interested in the service and comfort. But now all travelers are really sort of apprehensive about what to expect on their trip.
Yes, I believe it will be a must-have information on any website, and I'm glad you already integrated it. So thank you very much. I hope you are well. We know in Sweden it's a special system for COVID, and now we will move on before the next speaker to a movie a short movie from Travelport. Мы сейчас двинемся.
And now we'll come over to our next speaker, and we will show a smart video of Travelport and Alpha Insurance. Let's go.
Until it doesn't. We've waited, caught up online, together in our own little worlds. Through a global crisis, we've kept moving, supporting our customers and learning new skills. And now that travelers are ready to reconnect, we're ready to help. Getting back in the air, on the road, in hotels, back in business, and back together. Together, we are reconnecting the world.
Альфа-страхование – лидер по инновационности и технологичности на российском страховом рынке. Компания регулярно запускает простые и понятные инновационные продукты, которые повышают комфорт и удобство страховых услуг, позволяют получать более качественный и высокотехнологичный сервис и экономить на страховании. Один из примеров инновационных решений – развитие продуктов с динамическим ценообразованием – Smart Offer. Полис страхования авиапассажиров предлагается вместе с авиабилетом на сайте перевозчика. Уже сегодня клиенты по этому виду страхования могут получить умное предложение от компании с учетом деталей поездки. Основываясь на информации от партнера о тарифе, классе, условиях перевозки, а также стоимости билета, Альфа-страхование предлагает страховой продукт с наполнением, адаптируя ожидания клиента и по цене, учитывающей бюджет планируемый. Внедрение инновационных технологий помогает упростить процесс покупки полиса, но и сделать урегулирование максимально комфортным и быстрым. Эксклюзивный сервис моментальных выплат при задержке рейса позволяет получить выплату в кратчайшие сроки без сбора справок в офисе компании. Альфа, первой из российских страховых компаний, сделала этот сервис стандарт для продуктов добровольного страхования авиапассажиров. В случае задержки или отмены авиарейса клиенту не потребуется собирать документирующий факт события. Компания самостоятельно отслеживает статус в режиме реального времени и при обнаружении страховой задержки или отправляет пассажиру СМС-сообщение с рассчитанной суммой страховой выплаты зачисляется на банковскую карту клиента день в день. Полис страхования пассажира помогает минимизировать стресс при отмене, порче багажа и не только. Альфа-стресс будущего в настоящем.
Какие замечательные ролики. Спасибо Travelport и Альфа-страхованию за ролики, за мнение. Вот, и всех призываю попробовать скачать приложение Альфа-страхования. Прям удачи.
And
Сейчас